One of the first symptoms that I had when I was in the anxiety cycle is when I would try to fall asleep, my body would jolt me awake. And the best way that I can describe it is I felt like if I would let myself go to sleep, it was the same thing as letting myself die. I was also having horrible insomnia, and I was having chronic nocturnal panic attacks that would wake me up in the middle of the night with derealization, my heart racing, dizziness, you name it. If you are currently dealing with insomnia and sleep issues due to anxiety, watch this video and save this video because I'm going to give you some really good advice. I no longer deal with this. So when this first started for me, my go-to was definitely wake up my husband and tell him everything that I was experiencing. I would also kind of flip-flop between my room, the couch, the guest room, and just kind of pace around the house. I would take a bath, I would get in the shower, I would just try to do something to get rid of the symptoms. I would also go to YouTube and I would start binge watching how to get rid of a panic attack videos and all that kind of stuff. I would lay on my couch with my Bible and I would literally sit there and just read my Bible and shake and have chronic panic. Now, if you're in this boat and you are dealing with chronic panic attacks and physical symptoms, you understand that many nights you can't get rid of the symptoms. So here is what to do. All right. When it comes to symptoms, I love what Claire Week says when she says, like, what you resist persists. This is so true. Once you start trying to fix your symptoms and fight your symptoms and get rid of them and lessen them, or you start avoiding things and you're anticipating symptoms, and maybe you're not sleeping in your bedroom and you're sleeping on the couch to avoid symptoms, and next thing you know, your life is revolving around your symptoms and trying to avoid the discomfort, you quickly get yourself in a very bad cycle. So you need to learn how to allow your symptoms. And that doesn't mean make them pleasant or whatever, but we need to start treating this as a false alarm, right? If you're going to sleep, you're not in danger. But if you think about it, back in the day, biologically, what is our fight or flight system supposed to do? It's supposed to protect us. And if there is a lion prowling around, it's not going to just let you drift off to sleep and be all cozy and not worried about anything. It wants you awake and alert and ready to fight danger, right? But it's a false alarm because there's no lion. There's no lion in your room. And whenever we feed into this alarm as if it were a real alarm, we wake up, we're scared, we're freaking out, we're trying to get rid of the symptoms. What was that? What is this? What is that? Right? Then we're feeding this fire. We're fueling this fire. So think of the word indifference when it comes to symptoms. We're not ignoring them. Good luck. Ignoring them does not work, but we are responding to them with indifference. So I teach an acronym called IDEAL, and this is what you're supposed to use. It's not a coping mechanism. It's not meant to lower symptoms. It's meant to allow you to not engage with symptoms and allow the fire and the false alarm and your nervous system to kind of simmer down naturally. So this acronym is in the link in my bio. It's a free recovery webinar you can watch that has way more detail, but it's called IDEAL. So here's a quick example when you're laying in bed, right? Identify, feeling super symptomatic, right? Designate, this is adrenaline, this is just anxiety, this is a false alarm. Embrace, this can be here as long as it wants, nothing I need to do, nothing I need to fight with, it takes two to tango, I'm not tangoing, let it do its thing. It can increase, it can stay here all night, right? Address task at hand and live your life are the last two letters. And when you're sleeping, I know there's nothing at hand, so here's what I suggest is pursue normalcy, right? If you normally would be in bed, stay in bed, right? Make it your goal to rest, not sleep, right? Just rest. Pressure's off. If we sleep, fantastic. If we don't, at least we're resting, right? So we're not pressuring ourselves. You have to fall asleep, oh, we have to be up in 3 hours and my symptoms are going to be so much worse tomorrow if I don't sleep. No, pressure fuels this fire as well. So when we have those thoughts, IDEAL, identify, worried that I'm not going to sleep at all and I'm going to have a terrible, terrible day tomorrow and I'm supposed to go to work, Designate, this is unproductive, right? Embrace, oh well, if I don't sleep, I don't sleep, and I'll respond to my symptoms tomorrow, move on. So you get the point. Now, as far as the address task at hand thing goes, I don't recommend watching TV. I don't recommend doing anything to try to, get your mind off of this, but there is an app that I use and you still use called Abide. So Abide is a Christian meditation bedtime story type app, and it's really nice because it gives you something to redirect to. So throw on a bedtime story, address task at hand, back to listening to my story and resting. If I sleep, I sleep. If I don't, I don't. Move on, right? every unproductive thought that comes into your mind, you use Ideal for. So I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you have any additional questions, let me know. Make sure you are following this account for daily recovery advice, and go watch my free recovery webinar in my bio.